Happy Friday and welcome to today's live. I'm the Seer, your guide to love, destiny and manifesting the life you desire. I hope you're all doing well this Friday, and I hope that this session brings you some peace, some clarity and some answers to the questions that you even bring today. Quick reminder of how I read. I'm an energy reader. Tuning into your energy, your situation, please do provide as much context and detail as possible. It allows me to connect with your energy and give you a meaningful reading. I don't do yes, no, timelines or general readings, so please bear that in mind. The list is already closed today. The lists are filling up quite quickly nowadays, so if you want to guarantee a spot, what I would say is I always in the community post open the list early so you can guarantee a spot, so please be aware of that. I'll always post that the day before that I go live, and for anyone new here, I go live Monday, Wednesday and Friday, so just all updates. And for the list opening, to secure a spot, just that's the best place to check all updates. So let me just update the pinned comment now. Hey Nin Holland, catch us on Monday if you can. Like I say, the list is filling up nowadays very quickly. Hey Divine Timing, Diamond Girl, Anshuman, Ivo, Josephine, Geeta, Samreen, Sruthi, lovely to see you all. Let me go and grab this list. So it'll be coming in two parts. And Diamond Girl, my love, you are first. And I'm using the Muse Tarot deck today. Hey Sruthi, I'm doing good. Yes, Ganesh is here again with us, watching over us. Thanks Nin Holland for sticking around. You may find, even though these, I always bear this in mind, if someone else's message resonates with you, then, you know, Spirit has ways of being able to reach us still. So take that as a message for you as well. This is obviously a collective space and all our energies are joining here. So even though it's maybe someone else's question, if the message from Spirit resonates with you, take that. Okay, so I'm going to start shuffling, waiting for Diamond Girl. You go ahead and post your question, and then we have TB, my love, as well. Go ahead and post whenever you're ready. So Diamond Girl asks, what are S true intentions and feelings towards me? Currently no contact. So is this an ex, Diamond? Tell me, how long no contact? Let's see how they think and feel about this situation. Four of Voices. Currently, okay, can we see how they are? They're almost having a vision here. This card to me always talks about daydreaming, that they're in that kind of daydreaming energy. And I think in their downtime, Diamond Girl, that they do think of you. They still have feelings that linger for you. We've got these rose petals here, which always speak to me about romance and daydream, but almost in that fantasy energy. There's inaction at this point. There isn't any movement, okay? So they're kind of getting on with their lives, but in their downtime, their mind drifts to you. They have thoughts of you, but they're still in what we'd call like rest mode here. Yeah. I'm gonna pull another one. 3 weeks no contact. Okay, so not long really in the great span of things. Guidance advice for you in this situation, I think, would be helpful directly for you, Diamond Girls. So let's have a look at that. Five materials. So it will pass, yeah. I feel like this has maybe really got you in a low mood, which is understandable. And we can be in that space of lack and maybe at times feeling hopelessness. But this doorway, this gateway of change is imminent. So the energy will shift, and a door will open again. And you can see how this is all this lovely gold light here. And really, in essence, what will pull you out of this will that they'll reach out again, because if you can see, this is them literally reaching out to you. And I feel like this is your energy, that feeling down, feeling disappointed about what's gone on and about the situation as it is now. But the five materials, it can feel very intense at the time, which I feel like it may feel like that now for you, Diamond Girl. Catastrophic. How is this ever going to improve? How is this ever going to get better? But actually, a door will open and some communication will come through, and this period will end and this period will shift. What I imagine will happen, predict, is that this daydreaming of you, these thoughts of you, will build and then will intensify to the point where that they'll take action. But at the moment, they're not there yet, okay? Five of Voices comes next after the Four, which is communication. And what I can suspect, though, is that it won't be an easy ride. Like when they come back in with communication, there may still be some disagreements and conflict. Not to say that you can't overcome it, but there may be some difficult conversations that need to happen if we are going to be able to really resolve what's gone on and what's brought you into no contact, etc. Five of Swords, which comes after Four of Swords, obviously, is... like I say, it's communication, but it's not necessarily the easiest of communication. So just be prepared for that as well. But this current kind of stagnant energy and stillness that we see a lot of, you're down, they're inactive, this will switch up probably sooner rather than late, I would say as well. So I hope that resonated. Okay, so Tibia, this is for you, my love. I'm just going to scroll back to your question. Tibia says, good morning. Pisces says he's stepping back to recenter but still wants contact. We were just together. He says he's not seeing anyone, just stressed. His words pull back, but his actions usually show more. Is this the end romantically? Let's have a look. Nine of Emotions. I feel like there's, I'm going to pull another card for more info to you, but I feel like there's an emotional sort of self-centeredness and selfishness here that comes from the Pisces, because Nine of Emotions, its shadow side is when we're really just kind of sorry, like the bright side of Nine of Emotions is when we're in self-care and we're looking after ourselves and we're kind of emotionally at peace. But the shadow side of the Nine of Emotions is a selfishness and a self-serving attitude or belief that they're putting their emotions before you, Tia, I think, without consideration. And like you say, that they say certain words, but their actions don't back that up. And I think it's a continuation of this game that they play with you. So I wouldn't give it too much credence. And I don't see them going anywhere. But I also see that they're just circling the same patterns, yeah? They're not evolving. So is this the end? No. The Wheel of Fortune, which is interestingly, this is about positive change, which is interesting and which is hopeful and unexpected, actually. The Wheel of Fortune is when, you know, things have felt like an effort and a struggle, which I think now between you and the Pisces often has been, because there is this 2 steps forward, 3 steps back energy, and that they ultimately are kind of controlling this situation with their hanging this over over your head, over the relationship, that they're constantly pulling back, but they won't cut contact with you. So really that is understand that is a control, a method of control to you, okay? Now the Wheel of Fortune though says that something's going to change, and something's going to change for the positive, which is interesting. Things are going to get easier. Tell me more about this, Spirit. I feel like this is more for your energy, something that you've been working on. It could be that the work that you've done in this relationship pays off. The Seven of Materials is about, look how much all these roses that you've planted here, and that you've come far with something. Or it could be something, you know, even work related, because it's materials. What would you say that energy, you know, something that you've been really consistently putting the work into, you know, you've planted the seeds, you've nurtured them, you've let them grow, and you've made a lot of progress. Take what resonates with you, because it can apply to any area of your life, okay, where you feel like this is of late, you know, over the last months, years, whatever, what goal you've been working towards. This is going to pay off, and this is going to shift the energy in your life and in this relationship. There is change that is on the horizon, a positive change for you. So it could be something even like, you know, take what resonates, leave what doesn't here. But, you know, a new job, for instance, that would totally change your circumstances in your day-to-day life. That's just one example. I'm not saying it is that, but it could be. And in turn, that's going to kind of really shake up this relationship, because something positive and a shift of energy is coming in for you, which will change your perspective, will change the dynamic for the good. Okay, so Tia says, This is good, Tia. So Tia says, I've been putting work into myself, my emotional and mental health. Awesome. I've made progress in handling this situation with Pisces, just disappointed in his choices, yeah. But I'm placing emotional boundaries, awesome, where I'm absorbing his emotions, yeah. So there you go, you've named it. You've named it. That's what you've been working on. So it is very direct and it is very between you and him then. And this wheel that you, all that spirit is saying, all that work and all that effort, it will turn the dial and it will shift things in the positive direction and pay off for you. So keep on with that, Tia. Spirit has come in today to say that it recognizes the hard work that you've been doing. And as you say, it is disappointing about the choices that they feel very stuck here, yeah? They are struggling, your Pisces is struggling to evolve. But you're evolving, you're changing. And this will take you somewhere positive and you will turn the wheel and shift the dial. Hope that resonated. It's all about boundaries, isn't it, guys? So much is about boundaries. Sruthi, my love, if you want to post your question. So we have Sruthi and then we have Eco7, my love. If you are here, both please go ahead and post. You're welcome, Tia. Sruthi says, what new experience or opportunities are coming into my life soon? Like something positive regarding anything. Because sometimes I look at the future and feel like there isn't much to look forward to. Yeah. It's tough, isn't it? The world can the world can be a very harsh place. So Spirit, please bring through a message for Sruthi. What new experiences or opportunities are coming towards Sruthi? Ooh, Major Arcana. Some kind of justice for you. Some area of your life which maybe you look at and it brings up that something feels unfair, something feels out of balance, an injustice, yeah? And justice is about when wrongs get to be righted. Some kind of transformation happening here as well, that you're having a breakthrough because this new version of you is emerging. And what I would say is if we are, really working on ourselves, Ruthie, which I know that you do, you put a lot of, you're always working on self-reflection, looking at insight, looking at what you can do and how you can grow and how you can improve. And often, that can be quite painful growth. And we can see how there is a transformation happening. I'm going to ask Spirit if they can specify more. Maybe when I say that word, like something has felt unfair and a wrong is being righted, maybe what that is straight away. But let's ask Spirit to tell us more. I'm drawn to these two hands as well, that they can be a certain person who is involved in this, or a new person who is coming into your life who will be part of this. There is a hand that is reaching out to you, someone, an ally, a friend, a partner, can come in any form, but someone who is going to help bring this sense of justice for you. Muse of materials. So this can talk about work, money, finance, progress. Look, this is you on your journey. So it could be a transformative, you know, a new job, a financial breakthrough, studies, wherever you are on track with that. I'm also drawn to this card that I can see because there you are again. So this is you, but also this is you. And there is some kind of like choosing a certain path, the echoing of that as well. This person is on a path. You may be faced with a decision in the near future as well. And what I would say is make the right decision for you. And I know that sounds simple, but we know we're so often influenced by others or by what we think we should do. Excuse me. But what I would say it's go with, can you see how this is like a fiery doorway? Go with the passion, go with the heart's desires, because there it's echoed here as well, this kind of fiery energy. I hear the expression like it's time to choose you, you know, it's time to choose yourself this time around, Sruthi, where maybe often in the past and in your life you've often put others before you. And because it's the Muse of materials, this breakthrough and this transformation does feel connected to your career, work, study, money, you know, 3D energy path here. But it's not dull, you know, it's exciting. There is a place where you can blossom because there's all this explosion of flowers here and blooming somewhere that will make you feel like a place of work maybe, or a career where you will be able to grow and blossom out in the world as well and feel more seen and feel more validated. Oh, a new job. There we go. So if that's what we're going for, then this is very hopeful to say that this is possible. And justice is that fair outcome for you. So keep on with that, Shruti. If that's what, I feel like there is something, a career path here. This is where if you can keep pushing on this journey to get to where you want to be and a new job, that where you'll feel more seen is what I think, and it will boost your confidence and your happiness. And she says, yes, I always make decisions based on what's best for my grandpa. So if we can put ourselves, I know it's tricky, but it's, if you can put yourself first. Sufi says your readings resonates because I think I know what you're talking about. Okay. I'm currently making a choice between my current job and my dream career. All right, amazing. So yes, Spirit has come through to speak to you about, I would say, yeah, like obviously going for the dream here. And that's that decision that you're being faced with. This person, that's you, you know, you're going on this big brave journey, you know, and really going for it, Sruthi. So I wish you all the best with that. It will bring you happiness. It will. So Eco 7, if you are here, please go ahead and post. Anshuman, go ahead and post. That's absolutely fine. I'm glad that resonated for you, Sruthi. You're very welcome. I don't think Eco7 is here, but I could be wrong. I know Anshuman's here, and Veni, if you're here. Let me do a list update. There you go, guys. Hey, Veni. Go ahead and post, my love. Oh, Josephine's on there twice. I didn't realise. Go ahead and post Anshuman as well. Yep, post. Thanks, guys. So I'll read for Anshuman first and then Veni. So Anshuman asks, what is coming in my connection with Zed, Pisces? I'm Aquarius. No contact from 3 months. She went to third party, I guess. Is this the same? Is it Zoila, Anshuman? Who we read a lot on in the past? Third party, I believe, is still ongoing. I remember, yeah, Anshuman, I remember we read a lot on Zoila. Let's see how she thinks and feels specifically about you, because I feel like it's not totally, because there's 3 here, yeah, so it's like your energy is still in the mix. It's not like, so this would suggest there are still feelings and thoughts, you know, for you and for this other person. So it's a 3-party situation. Yeah. So this came through before as well, but the 4 voices, so this is her energy. So she still thinks of you, which would line up with this, you know, in some downtime, in some quiet time when she's relaxing. There is thoughts of you. She maybe wonders how you are, what you're doing, etc. And maybe thinks of reaching out, but she's not at that point where this is an energy of inaction, okay, Anshuman? So what I would say is, I don't know if you've tried to reach out to her as yet, but that would have to come from you. I don't see a move. I would say that she wouldn't be closed off completely to communicating with you, to being open to some connection, some form of connection with you. That energy doesn't feel in any way negative towards you. You know, there is really kind of good feelings here, I would say, from both these cards. There is another person in the mix, you know, relationship wise. But if it's platonic in the connection, what you would be looking for, what I would say, it might be hard to separate that. Because this was romantic by nature. So I feel like that still really is the energy in the mix of this connection, and it would be tricky to separate that. So bear that in mind, okay? If it was just something platonic and friendship that you were looking for, I feel like on both sides it might be tricky, yeah, to, after the history, after the past, to create that. But if you did want to you know, the what I would say is there is some openness here, and there is some potential here for progress, but it would have to come from you. She wouldn't be closed off to it. She looks to be involved with someone else still, so it's not going to be a reconnection in that way. But there is no ill will here. So do with that information with what you will, Anshaman, yeah? And if you did want to communicate, it would need to come at this time, currently anyway, it's not going to come from her. It would need to come from you. But if you're not ready for that, then, you know, no worries. Okay, moving on. So Veni asks, what are new opportunities and breakthroughs coming up in my life? I believe I've been working on myself. Sure thing, Veni. Let's have a look. What breakthroughs and opportunities? You're welcome, Anshaman. What breakthroughs and opportunities are coming through for Veni Spirit? Oh, isn't this funny? This is... So for Shruti, who asked a very similar question... Oh no, sorry, it wasn't Shruti, it was Tia got this card. But Tia was working on herself. That you will indeed have a breakthrough, Veni, okay? The Wheel of Fortune is very fortunate card to see whenever, in any case, yeah? It is indeed about a breakthrough moment. After hard work and effort, if we think about the having to push the wheel, which is what you have been doing, and maybe has very much felt like effort, hard work. Why am I doing this? Is this, you know, is this going to pay off? You know, is this actually going anywhere, what I'm doing? And this card comes through to say, yes, it will. And what will happen is that you are reaching a tipping point, okay? And then we get to this top of the wheel. And then the tipping point is this breakthrough that happens. I'm going to pull another card to try and get more info of where you might see this manifest. But it's like when it feels like Spirit has your back and the path really opens up before you, and gravity in a way takes over, if that makes sense. It's like the free fall of energy. Suddenly things begin to move faster. Yes, and you know, what was once closed doors, the door opens, no become yeses. You know, the lights turn green and it's ready to go. And it's like that hard work and effort, it doesn't feel like that anymore. That dissipates. How will this manifest, Spirit? Maybe you know, where have you been working? What goal have you been working towards? What is at the top of that list? You know, because we go through different eras of our life, different stages. We've always got something, I feel like, at the top of that list of that goal. And what at this time, Veni, is it that you're going for, and what where is this hard work directed? What are you trying to achieve? That's where you'll experience this breakthrough. Where you get to put a burden down. That's all that Spirit will tell us, really. So take what resonates with this breakthrough. I feel like you'll have to name that yourself, and like I say, what is at the top of your list of achievements of this hard work and effort that you have been focusing on. Where have you wanted to see that breakthrough happen? And with that, the Ten of Inspiration marks, this breakthrough marks an ending of a way of being, really. Because the Ten of Inspiration, we're able to put down this burden that has really been weighing heavy on us, and all this work that we've put in. And the Ten of Inspiration, we can put something down, and it is an end of an era. And an ace is a new beginning and a fresh start. So a cycle is ending, which like this cyclical, this circle formation here. The hard work era is ending. Things will become easier. Look at all this kind of orange and red that I'm drawn to as well. Inspiration is wands, is fire. Something that we feel very strongly about, I think, something that we feel very driven and passionate about, but has felt maybe somewhat just like hard work for a long time, out in the desert, on our own, needing to get some feedback, needing to get some help from Spirit with this, and finally it arrives, finally it comes, and it's such a sense of relief when it does. I hope that resonated, Benny. Hey Samreen, you haven't missed your turn. I'll post the list. We've got Danny next. I'm not sure if Danny's here, but they maybe just be watching. There's Danny, and we have Anne. And where is that? What have you been working hard on, Benny? Only share if you feel comfortable. Is it inner work? Is it on a project? Is it outer work? Hey Anne. I'll read for Anne. If Danny posts, I'll read for Danny after, but I don't think Danny's here. So Anne asks, how my... Oh, Benny. I'm really glad that resonated. And tears are good. Let yourself cry. Let yourself let it out. In your relationship. Oh, okay. Something's going to give, Benny, some release is on its way. Some burden will lift. Yeah? And I think you will feel freer. However that manifests, you will feel things will get easier. So keep us posted, yeah? So Anne asks, how might my relationship with my crush develop next year? We have never been in contact, but I'm allowing space for the connection to unfold naturally. I trust that the universe will guide him towards me if this bond is meant to grow. Okay. Let's see how this is going to unfold. Holding space, that's a good place to be. And often all that we need to do, I think, with situations where we've tried everything that we can maybe, or there's nothing left to do, holding space is the best place to stand. Love and light, Benny. Love and light to you. You're very welcome. Okay, let's have a look at Anne's crush and how this is going to unfold. How is it going to develop? I'm interested. Oh, 2 cards. We make some progress with this Knight of Materials. The 6 of Emotions, I feel like this is actually you holding space. Can you see this circle here? This is you holding this relationship. There's something about this relationship because it feels like it's a very powerful pull. Something that you are inherently know and feel quite deeply inside, Anne. And it feels connected to the past. So I don't know if this person is from the past actually, and it's been a long connection and it's, you know, nothing's happened, but maybe you've known this person from when you were younger or something like that, or it can be a past life. Because this is our inner child here, okay? This is the inner child is the part of us that goes on feelings really, and goes on instinct as well. Like children don't really question or have that critical voice of kind of killing magic, you know, with logic and with cynicism and all that kind of energy. There is like an element of magic is what I'm trying to say, childlike kind of magic, and something that almost makes you feel maybe something about this person that makes you feel nostalgic, even if they're not from the past. You know, we can meet people that we feel like we know, we feel like we recognize them immediately. If you believe in reincarnation, this can be a past life connection, someone that we know, or someone that we have a soul contract with for this lifetime, and there's an element of destiny here, and we don't know where that comes from, but we feel it in our bodies, and we just something that we know. You know, I'm sure we've all experienced that when you see someone who you've never met before, but you recognize them. It's that kind of vibe, yeah. A powerful pull, says Anne, yeah. This Knight of Pentacles keeps repeating. So it's progress, and it's interesting, Anne, because the Knight of Pentacles can often feel like there is no progress happening, which I think is maybe what you might fall into with this, okay? It's like it's almost like it's so slow that it can feel like nothing is happening, but there is something happening, and you can trust that. I mean, this Knight of Pentacles compared to other decks is actually moves quite fast because this horse has kind of picked up a gallop here. But it's the Knight of Materials is something that is very slow and steady, but is genuine. Depicted here by these beautiful flowers and growth. So it's much like how a flower grows, that we can't rush that. It needs time, it needs sunshine, it needs water, it needs nutrients in order to blossom. And that's really, you know, how is this connection going to unfold? It's going to unfold like the Knight of Pentacles, slow and steady. So just keep holding space, keep trusting that this is moving in the right direction, even when you don't see progress. This is when we can really dig into our manifestations about, even if I don't see it in the 3D, it happening, progress is always happening. This relationship is, you know, get some affirmations and together about, you know, this relationship is unfolding exactly as I intend it to. We are moving in the right direction. Our relationship is progressing to where I want it to be. whatever, you know, however, write those affirmations out for yourself, create some that work for you, that resonate for you, and keep repeating them as much as you can, particularly if we get a challenging or limiting thought or belief that comes up. And that's the time to, you know, I have done the classic, you know, you write the affirmations out on your post-it notes and put them around your room so that when you can just look to them and see them and be like it's a great reminder. So really quite a beautiful message. I hope that resonated. Reassuring and also acknowledging of the deep pull and the deep connection here that is going on. I hope that resonated, Anne. Okay, so moving on, we have Kritika. Arisha, the list is closed today, Arisha, but I'll be live again on Monday, so do join us then. Yes, exactly, Anne. Letting things unfold slowly, just like the Knight of Pentacles suggests. You're very welcome, Anne. Thank you, Kritika. Awesome to post. And Samreen, you can go ahead and post as well, my love, if you are here still. So Kritika asks, the true feelings of Valpav, I hope I'm pronouncing that correct for me, please. In contact, we're talking, but we're both holding back on our feelings, okay, due to him being not ready for a relationship. Ooh, intriguing. Let's see, Kritika, what's going on for them. Their true feelings for you. Have they said why they're not ready for a relationship? Have they clarified? Let's see what the cards say. Their true feelings for you. I'm going to pull that first, and then without looking at that, I'm going to pull why are they holding back? Really, truly, why are they holding back? Seven of Inspiration. They have some really strong boundaries up, yeah. Some, I would say it goes beyond boundaries, and I would say they've got their walls up. Seven of Inspiration, where it's kind of like I'm going to look at this card. Muse of Emotions. They have difficulty being vulnerable. They have difficulty processing their emotions in general. Okay, the shadow side of the Muses of Emotions, or the lesson of the Muse of Emotions, is that being vulnerable, feeling our feelings. The Cups is about love, romance, soft hearts, being soft, the need to soften up really and let down the walls is what I believe. And there are feelings here for you for sure with this Muse of Emotions. It's almost like there's too much feelings, and this is when the walls go up. This is when we get defensive and the fear of being vulnerable, Kritika, okay, kicks in. There we go. Past heartbreak, and he says too tired to put an effort again. Especially, yep, he has. Especially since our day a month ago where our emotions were on peak, okay. So, this is tricky, Kritika. I mean, they've been honest with you. It's the past hurt that has got them here, really. Everything's kept inside. Can you see how this beautiful, really light and energy and feelings that I think this connection that they do have for you, it's all locked inside, yeah? And it's no use to you, what I would say, Kritika, if it is going to stay locked inside. So it's okay to give this person time and to give this person space to build trust with you and to open up. But don't give them too much time and don't wait too long, is what I would say. And maybe don't focus, like put everything on them. If there are other opportunities for other connections to explore, then be open to that if you can, yeah? I'm not saying that this person won't. This person, the feelings are all there. The emotions are all there. But if they're not, then if they're not ready, they're not ready. You know, the walls are up, the boundaries are up. So I would say don't hedge all your bets on this one person, you know. I've said to Samreen, who's here now, similarly, not to put all the eggs in one basket. Kritika says, and when some of his emotions peaks out, my hope gets alive again, of course. He opened up when we were friends, and as soon as he realised his feelings, he pulled back so hard, yeah. So you have stuff that is genuine, that is open, that can be received, is coming towards you from a night, you know, from someone. I'm not saying that it's this person or someone new. I feel like Spirit is not saying for definite. All that it's saying is that there is love that is coming towards you. It could be, like I say, that you pull back from this person and say, okay, I'm not putting any more effort into this. If anything's going to change, it's going to have to come from you. That's the best bet, to kind of let them know, you know, give them a shake to say, right, I'm stepping back. If this is going to change, if you want this, you're going to have to take the risk and open up. And then they are able to come, they take the risk, they decide to get over themselves, move forward, open up. But if not that, then someone else. There is, with this Knight of Emotions, this is a big thumbs up that there is a love opportunity without boundaries, without restrictions, that you've experienced is coming towards you. So that's something to look forward to, something to hold on to. Hold this image in your mind, this beautiful card. Keep that distance from them. Hold space, like what we've been talking about a lot today. Hold space for this, where is it? There, this Knight of Emotions. Hold space for this Knight of Emotions to come through, and allow it to come through in any form, be it this person, be it a new person, but know that it is coming through to you. Love and light. Hope that resonated. Okay, Samreen, my love, this is for you. So Samreen asks, if I move abroad, will my current boyfriend join me too? So that's a yes, no question, but I'll see what the cards say, Samreen. I'm currently exploring my options abroad. It's exciting, Samreen. I know this is something in the past that you've looked at, isn't it? You're welcome, Kritika. I'm glad that resonated. Keep us posted, yeah? Okay. So I'm going to look at I think the energy and the response of your boyfriend if you were to relocate. How would they react to this? How would they respond to this? Muse of Emotions, King of Emotions. It will certainly make them feel some feelings, yeah? Yes, and this time I'm serious about relocation and starting my life abroad from scratch. Amazing, Samreen, amazing. Good for you. Where are you thinking about going? Only share that if you feel comfortable. Okay, well, I think they would be very sad about the prospect of losing you, Samreen. I feel like it will emotionally, what I'm feeling is that it will emotionally throw them for a loop. Okay? Muse of Emotions is King of Cups, and I feel like in this context, in this reading, is that it will make them feel all the feelings, yeah? Because it's next to this Six of Emotions, which can be about missing someone, nostalgic, sadness, longing. It's a card of longing, the Six of Emotions, yeah? So they don't want to lose you. But I feel that they'll feel quite messy emotionally about this, confused, not knowing what to do, to come with you, to not come with you. Maybe they've got their own restrictions of, like, it's not something that they would, if you hadn't put this on the table, it maybe wouldn't have been something that they would think about and be open to. Like, it will almost take them aback. So some kind of emotional messiness is generally what I'm feeling. And that they will feel mixed up, confused, they don't want to lose you. The thought of you going makes them, miss you and be sad about that. So can you tell me anything, Spirit, about, will this inspire them to join Samreen? New Zealand and Australia, nice. I feel like initially, okay, this can change, but I feel like because the Four of Voices is a kind of, again, more of this like longing, missing, confused, emotional mess, but not taking any action. This may change, and what I would say is that maybe you would have to lead the way and go, if this makes sense, and if you relocated and left, and then they may follow you because the sadness and the longing intensified and they decided that, do you know what, I'm going to go for it as well. But all of these cards just feel like a lot of feelings and not a lot of action. It will invoke a strong emotional feeling of basically of not wanting you to go. And I think in an ideal world that they would say they would not want you to go. Yeah, they want you to stay. Yeah, his career, it just might not be possible for him as well. He might want to go and it's not possible. But the general feeling of this reading, Samreen, is what I feel is that there is sadness. Yeah? I totally agree, Samreen. Men come and go, but my time won't return to work on myself. And if this is meant to be, this longing and this sadness, then they can follow you out there, yeah? That you don't have to cut contact with them, you can still communicate. But I feel like it would have to, if that was going to happen, it would have to happen in that order. So it can be that they feel like that this isn't their journey. That could be one of the things. Or that, like, it can be a practical thing, or both those things, that they can't go, they can't come with you. because they feel stuck and they feel emotional about this and sad, and that they don't want you to go. But obviously I'm not saying to let that stop you. Don't let that stop you. But that was quite a strong read there on that. So I hope that resonated, Samreen. It just might not be possible for them to come. But they certainly will not be happy about you going. Okay, next up, my loves, we have Josephine and we have Alvin. If you are still here, please go ahead and post. You're welcome, Samreen. I hope you'll still be able to join the the readings from New Zealand and Oz. The times might be off. Okay, Alvin, thank you for posting. So Alvin asks, what is emerging next for HM and I? As she moves away, 5 hours away, okay, to pursue a passion of horses. Interesting. Things are going well. We have the most clear and honest conversation I've ever had with someone. Beautiful. Okay, so what is emerging next for you and HM? 5 hours, that's a long time, hey? That's tricky. Transformation. So when we see the death card, it is an ending of sorts. It doesn't have to be the end of this connection, but it certainly is the end, obviously, of what has been. And this connection will undergo an intense transformation. And if it does make it through this distance, obviously, which is a obstacle for sure, okay? I feel like it's going to, I'm going to pull more cards for more information, but I feel like it's going to push this relationship forward, as in, I don't know if it's possible for you to move close to her, if that would be something that you would be open to, and you may be closer than ever. Or it could, I mean, there's no doubt with this death card emerging, it could mark the end of this connection, and that it can't survive this distance. It won't look the same as what it has done. That much we know, okay? Tell me more, Spirit. Three of Emotions is such a opposite, like almost the yin to the yang of this death card. This death card is very intense, is very heavy in many respects, demands a lot, you know, this transformation. And then we have this sort of antithesis, the Three of Emotions of this is light-hearted, it's a celebration, but there's almost at times with the Three of Emotions, to me, a bit of a superficial energy. I kind of want to say it's almost like it may be a test, this, of that it will be time to go all in. And there will be no space for this. It depends what you want, Alvin, okay? Do you want to go all in? Or are we not there yet? Do we want to stay more on, look at other options of other connections, and in a way have fun, socialize, keep it light? There's nothing wrong with that. There's no judgment in that, in wanting that. But it's almost like a fork in the road, I feel like, about what you want. And if we want this to, there will be no room for this connection to be in the middle anymore, or like, what's the word, if it's like it may have to be, there has to be commitment here for it to last the distance. We kind of have to go all in. Okay, planning to visit each other on a regular basis. That sounds good, but we don't know yet until she moves, sure. Right now we have recommitted to each other on keeping our connection and romance strong. Okay. So it sounds like you're in a good place, and it sounds like that we're actually leaning towards this more, and I do feel like it is pushing you in, not in a horrible way, in a good way. In a way, it's kind of pushing you down a certain track, this circumstance, to you know, the desire and the need to make this work really has to be very strong, and we have to be very committed. There is no room for this kind of superficial, light-hearted, take or leave it kind of energy, because it just won't survive. But it sounds like very much you're on the same page with this and committed, like you say, recommitted to making this work. Final messages. And really, if you continue down that road, then that's only going to get deeper. That's only going to get stronger. And then, you know, living together, long-term commitment, all that kind of stuff, I would predict, like, will come if we just keep going down that track, yeah? But this situation, this change in circumstance, is really going to test that and push this one way or the other. There is no place or space left for the in-between. So I hope that makes sense, I hope that resonates. Hey Josephine, yeah, go ahead and post, Josephine, now. Oh, there we go. Look at this. So this is crazy. We've got the Death card, Major Arcana, and then we've got another Major Arcana, the Wheel of Fortune. So change, yeah, big change. I think this could be like, what I feel like is this is the making of this relationship, really. It may seem like an obstacle now, and it kind of is, but what it has is it's really going to sharpen up the edges of this connection, and you're really going to have to go, which I feel like you are, go all in and kind of almost fight for this connection, this turn of the wheel. Like I say, it'll be the making of this relationship, the making of the breaking. But I feel like where we're at now, this is the making of this relationship, and it's gonna clear out all this kind of Three of Emotions energy, which feels more, there is no room for superficiality, those kind of emotions. Big change, big change. I hope that resonated. Okay, so Josephine, go ahead and post now. Kristen, Are you here? Please go ahead and post. And last but not least, Geeta. So basically, if you are Josephine, Kristin and Geeta, if you are here, please go ahead, post your questions now or forever hold your peace. Thank you, Josephine. So Josephine asks, hey Kristin, go ahead and post, my love. Josephine asks, what is Sandeep's intentions towards me? He blocked me a week ago and now he unblocked me. He's been calling me 2 days, even though it's only for a brief moment of time. So is Sandeep, just remind me, Josephine, is Sandeep an ex-boyfriend, an ex-situationship? There's a bit of a delay in the chat, Josephine, so... Just tell me a bit more, Kristin, about your... Just bring us up to date on where we're at, what's happened and where we're at now. Okay, Josephine, this is for you. Let's have a look at Sandeep's intentions. What is he playing at, hey? He blocked you, now he's unblocked you. He's been calling you for 2 days, but you haven't spoken. What's he playing at, hey? This Four of Voices has come through a lot today. It's often the case when we're in group sessions here. So, daydreaming about you, thinking about you in their downtime moments, yeah? But there's also with this card, because the Four of Voices is a card of rest, really. But the shadow side of that rest, yeah, is inaction. So they're thinking about you, they daydream about you, maybe wondering what you're doing, want to know, want to find out what you're doing. But there's also a lack of intention here, Josephine, yeah? Sure thing, you haven't really established what it is, no problem. Tell me more, Spirit. Muse of emotions. I feel like they're obviously struggling to be upfront with how they feel. There are feelings here for sure. Muse of emotions would indicate that there are actually quite a lot of feelings here. Okay, it's King of Cups, it's intense feelings, it's deep feelings. But like we spoke about earlier today, the Muse of emotions can be very much like the shadow side of this is that we have trouble processing our emotions, processing our feelings. I feel like there needs to be some maturing on their side as well. And where this is all coming from, the blocking, the unblocking, it's all very reactive, yeah? And there is an immaturity here. And the Muse of emotions, or the King of Cups, when they are in their bright side, they are emotionally mature, they are cautious, they kind of think very deeply before speaking, before taking action. And I feel like your person, Sandeep, is not there yet, is not able to do this, okay? So they're grappling with those feelings and with that immaturity, really, and difficulty in being vulnerable, difficulty in processing their feelings. And it's resulting in what, you're getting the kind of brunt end of that, Josephine, okay? So I'll pull one last more about advice for you, I think, of how to deal with this person's energy. It feels very wishy-washy. It feels like there is some genuine emotions here for sure. So take comfort in that there are real feelings here, and they're just not handling them very well at all. Temperance, so all that you can do is to try not almost react to their reactiveness, to try and see through this for what it is. Decide if it's something that you want, or if you want to stick this out, or you may want to walk away. But the Temperance card is all about being, in a way, like you have to be the mature one. You will need to stay balanced. Temperance is about seeking harmony, and it's about needing to be patient as well. So if you are kind of going to get to where you want with this person, it will take time, it will take patience. You will have to be the mature one. Now, if you want that kind of energy in your life, that's free will, that's up to you. But you may want to walk away from this kind of, do you want to have to always be the strong one, the patient one, the one who's balanced? Sometimes that can be frustrating to be pigeonholed into that. But this is the way, if you do want to continue this connection with this person, see where it goes, work it out, work it through, then this is where you need to, the best place to stand is here in this Temperance energy. And give them this time, give them this space to kind of get a handle, I think, on these feelings and do some work on themselves. So it's more about, just to recap, it's not questioning the depth of their feeling. It's more just a question really of their emotional maturity, of where they're currently at. And if you want someone, if you want to persist with this connection, then this is the person that you're going to need to be. So I hope that resonates, Josephine. You could tell him, Josephine, maybe that you need him to maybe not that he only has to communicate with you about his feelings, but maybe that he needs to communicate with you about his feelings more. Like he needs to let you know what's going on for him, and for him to open up more and share. That sounds like that could be a healthy way forward, and then see how he responds to that. But that's been very mature, open, honest. Let's say, look, if we're going to make this connection work, you're going to have to share with me what you're feeling and what you're thinking. So that sounds like a good place to stand, and then, open that door for them. That is you being that mature. Where is she? There she is. That mature Temperance, which is a lovely energy. But it's quite hard to, on the other hand, it takes a lot to be the strong one. Keep us posted, Josephine, yeah? Okay. Kristen, just tell me more about your question, Kristen. I know you said, oh, there we go, you have. Sorry. Let me back this up. Okay. Kristen says, can you give me an update on no contact situation? I'm moving closer to him now. Awesome. That I found a home, but we broke up and I feel really abandoned. Oh no. What do we want to focus this on Kristen, then? His feelings. Where he's at. His feelings, Kristen. That feels like a good place to start. Ace of Voices, fresh starts, new beginnings, communication. The wise owl here that's appeared as well. So I feel like they do want to talk. There is something to say. We're in no contact, but this is about new communication coming in. So that is going to come through. And they have got something to say. That's why we start. Muse of Materials. King of Pentacles, that is. Are they caught up in work a lot? Is work a big thing for them? Just wondering why this Muse of Materials has come through. Because it can mean a few things. It can mean that they are in a way working up to getting more serious about this connection. Because Materials is very grounded, it's very realistic, it's about the 3D, it's practical. But it's also that they could be maybe distracting themselves and burying themselves in work. You're welcome, Josephine. Keep us posted. Tell me more, Spirit. I need to get a fuller picture of where they're at. And then I'll pull one for future energies. So tell me, Kristen, is he someone who buries himself in work? Okay. So he's pissed off he didn't want to live with him, but we aren't married, so that was not what I wanted to do. Yeah, fair enough. And then, so how did we get from there to then to that we've gone, you know, that it's ended? So is that why it ended? Because, or we went into no contact? Because he was like, we have to live together or nothing? He has his own business. Okay, let's just see. I feel like he's been stubborn. He is still caught up in the practical issues with this Muse of Materials. He can be used in work as an escapism. And I feel like he's still on the defensive. I don't know why he's so defensive. And that some walls are up. There's lots of feelings going on behind the scenes. We see here all this contained, yeah? Maybe, you know, like he struggled, which is kind of a red flag, yeah? He struggled with you putting up a boundary, Kristen, your boundary, because this is almost like his energy and your energy. I feel like it's like you're putting a boundary up and saying, which is totally fine, like this is where I stand, and I totally kind of can resonate with that need of, you know, if we're not married, then you don't want to live together, and that's something, you know, if you want that level of commitment from me, then we would need to be further along and married, and that's the path that I agree that, you know, that you feel is comfortable for you and works for you. He thinks I broke the trust. It doesn't make sense, really. He said I'm non-committal. I think it's more about his past than actually me. Yeah. I feel like it is a red flag, Kristen, that you've held this boundary and that they've reacted so bad. What I would say is that, you know, communication will come through. They do have something to say, and I'm sure that you have a lot to say to them. So you will have this opportunity. But with regards to their energy, it still feels very kind of stuck and stubborn, and that they are digging their feet in. Like you say, it doesn't really even make sense. Digging their feet in, sort of getting hooked up on this one point, when you've actually, you know, you've moved for them. That's a huge commitment, and it feels very unfair. No respect for my boundaries is what I've been saying all along, yeah. And the Muse of Materials, so the shadow side of the Muse of Materials, or the King of Pentacles, is that they can be very stubborn and black and white, and in some ways kind of, you know, ruthless somewhere, of like that they're not really able to see nuance, or and can be quite insensitive. And it just feels quite heavy where they're at, and it feels very stuck, and they're very entrenched. And like you say, from the past, what's gone on has got them entrenched in this spot, and it's almost like they've become immovable, because if they've been hurt in the past, you know, that they're holding this sort of set of rules to them that really don't apply here. Trying to protect themselves from being hurt, or trying to control, really, is what they're trying to do. They're trying to control you, and they're trying to control the situation, and they're saying, you know, my way or the highway. So be prepared, Kristen, for, you know, when this conversation comes through, I would say, you know, get really clear on what you want to say. Even practice with loved ones, with friends, about how you would communicate, what you would want to say to them, and what your needs are. You know, if we're still invested in this to work it out and work it through. But they're really going to have to offer some and show you some kind of understanding and flexibility, Kristen, I believe, in order for this to move forward. I don't think this is something that you should back down on, because if they don't respect your boundaries now, then they're never going to, and they're just going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing on that, and you'll just end up in a place of great unhappiness, really, if you're with someone who can't respect the boundary. This is Seven of Inspiration or Seven of Wands, which is about, so it's kind of defensive, backed into a corner. It can mean a few things. The kind of shadow side is that it's someone being very defensive, but the bright side is actually holding a boundary and standing your ground. And I kind of feel like this is your energy as well here. This is almost feels like it depicts your situation in a nutshell here. Look how much effort and energy that it's taken from you to hold your space, to protect your light. Yeah. So keep doing that, but there is some, big question marks here about their behavior and about where they're coming from. They've just like locked in stubbornly, and I feel like they're not doing the self-reflection that's needed and the inner work. But yet they will be coming. There is an Ace of Swords, so this is really the most hopeful card in this spread, because it's a card of, there is a freshness about this, and an opportunity to at least discuss this and communicate and try to get it all out on the table, and maybe try to work towards some kind of understanding, cut through the noise, cut through the nonsense, cut through the stagnation that has happened here. So get it clear in your head, Kristen. Write it down, talk to a friend, talk to family. What do you want to say? Yeah, because this is coming down the track for you, so get ready. I'm sorry that you're having to go through this. This is like very tough to move all that way and then for this to have happened. Okay, moving on. So last but not least, Geeta. Just give me a shout that you're still here, Geeta. Thank you for your patience. Let me go back to your question, which I know is here. Geeta asks, what are my online crush true intentions and feelings towards me? Contact and email. I send so much email. He's watching silently and I didn't get a reply. Okay, let's see where they're at, Geeta. Thanks, Geeta. This is their energy. They're a hermit, Geeta. They are indeed a hermit. And the bright side of the hermit is that this is someone who is quite a deep thinker and insightful. But the shadow side of this is that the hermit is someone who can become very isolated. And maybe this is someone who, struggles to communicate and struggles with relationships even, is what I would say. I know you said he's a silent watcher. And with this hermit card coming through, I feel like that speaks volumes about this person, that maybe they are on a deep level kind of locked in with themselves and struggle to connect. Yeah, even if they may work and have, a surface level kind of life and be functioning, but they are someone who I feel like struggles to connect with people and to form relationships. So that's what you're experiencing. That's what you've run into here, Geeta, okay? And what you're coming up against. Tell me more, Spirit. Ten of Inspiration. Ten of Inspiration talks about there is a coming to an end of a situation of something. So this could be, I mean, does this feel like hard work on your part? Because that's what the Ten of Inspiration can talk about. Feeling kind of a bit weary and that it's a struggle. What I would say is, you know, you're the person who's obviously going to have to lead the way if you want to continue this connection. They're shy, they're reserved, they struggle with connections. Do this up until the point, but if it starts feeling like a burden, I feel like this is maybe something that you should walk away from and try and explore other connections. Do it for as long as it feels comfortable, but as soon as it becomes a burden, then it's time to put that down. I don't know if you're there yet. I'm going to ask one more card about them just to get a bit of a read on, I think their likely actions would be useful. These two cards want to come out. Oh, so we do see some change though. Okay, this is positive. This is hopeful. Knight of Inspiration is them being able to come forward to you more movement, more change, kicking up the dust, more taking action. So this is hopeful. Nine of Materials is you, in a way, really, I see this as celebrating this. This feels like their connection reaching out to you more. And it being more balanced is what I feel like. Because they certainly have positive thoughts and feelings towards you. The Nine of Materials can often be when someone, they see you as like an independent spirit, someone who is maybe you're much more outgoing compared to them, and they kind of admire that about you. But what I would say is there has to be almost for them to come out of their shell, which I do see them being able to do that. We must be mindful of not to do too much of the heavy lifting on your side, okay? Like, let them do the work as well. Don't let it just all be one way, because if we just keep giving and giving and giving without getting anything back, then we will reach burnout, and in some ways this will bring a close to this connection. It will need to end. But if we can avoid that and kind of just give just enough, what we feel comfortable with, what we feel happy with, and it's really up to them to get to this point where, you know, they're going to have to take some action and make some moves on their side as well. It is possible, it is there. They've just got some struggle, they've got some issues to overcome, yeah? They need to break out of their shell. I feel like you're helping them with that. You're part of their journey, but you can't make someone do that. They have to do the work themselves as well. So I hope that resonated. Okay. I'm going to end the live there, guys. Thank you for everyone that came, that brought your questions. I hope this session brought you some insight, brought you some clarity. For anyone watching the replay, please do come along and join us on Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays. But looking forward to seeing you next week, guys, and hopefully you have a lovely weekend.